We got some news to talk about. GTA, Val, and Xbox have all made huge decisions over the weekend. The most impactful one probably being GTA 6. Probably just get into it. GTA 6 is now announced to be $80 for the base edition and $100 for the deluxe edition. Ultimate edition is what it's called. They're locking about 10, no, way more than that, about 20 customizable things behind the paywall. A lot of stuff is like behind the paywall, which is kind of ridiculous, but GTA 6 is the first game to ever be $80. And there's no true physical edition, even if you pay for the Ultimate Edition or base edition. There's no physical edition announced. I think a physical edition will come though, if I had to assume. If they could drop digital edition, a few years later they drop a true physical edition, I think people are willing to buy the game a second time just because it's true physical and they love the game that much. But the reason this is big news is because it sucks. I mean, how many games are going to follow suit? How many games how many studios really know the difference between them and GTA? I feel like there's some games that people will buy. Elder Ring 2 could be $80. The next Mario Kart or the next big Mario game could be $80. I think Mario was already 80. Was Mario $80? I don't remember. Maybe GTA 6 isn't the first game. Maybe it was Mario Kart. But it is still a bad sign that this game is $80 because this game is going to come out and is going to be very successful at $80. And even the $100 edition, which I think in the first week or so, first day, I think more people will buy the $100 edition because it's GTA. And they don't want FOMO. FOMO is a big thing. That's why they can get away with doing this. I'm not really surprised. And honestly, how do I say it? Kind of sucks that I'm more happy that it's $80 than $100 or even $90. I was really hoping for $70 in the Ultimate Edition, the Deluxe Edition. The other editions should be $100 or $80 or $90, whatever you want them to be. I really wanted the base edition to be $70, but they've made their choice. It's $80. Its pre-orders are up. I'm pretty sure everybody's already pre-ordered their version. But that is crazy. But Val, they have released their Steam Machine. The Steam Machine is priced at $1,100. And the other Steam Machine, the other edition, which comes with a controller, is $1,300. Yep. The base edition of the Steam Machine is $1,050. If you want a controller, it's $1,100 and $28. And if you want the max edition, it's $1,500 and it comes with a controller. This isn't a good idea. I'm going to get the Steam Machine, but it's going to take me a very, very, very long time. The Steam Machine is not something I'm going to force myself to get or even look forward to getting. I'm just going to get it when it's available. I do like to buy games on Steam. I do like that you don't have to pay to play online. But the thing is, the Steam Machine is not even, I don't know if it's trying to be competitive. Maybe it's not even this goal. Maybe the Steam Machine is being made for, hey, if you get it, and we can make money off of it. But if they're trying to compete, this is the worst possible option. Most people right now in the console generation already own a console. They own either both of the systems, or they own one or the other, and a PC. The Steam Machine doesn't offer anything unique, saying where it feels like you have to own it. It doesn't have, it might have Game Pass. I'm pretty sure it will. It's still a desktop, but it's more console focused. Game Pass OS, I doubt it. But it doesn't have exclusives like PlayStation does. It doesn't have Game Pass as far as I know right now. Also, most people don't need another console. Spending $1,000+ on a console to play games they already have on their PC. Plus, you have the Steam Deck. The Steam machine should have realistically dropped at $700. It realistically should. It's not even more powerful than the PS5 Pro. And just because it's more powerful, being more powerful is still not an excuse to go out and run and get something. The Steam machine could have dropped and it could have been more powerful than the PS5 Pro. People don't, just because something's more powerful doesn't mean people just magically make money appear to go get something. Especially with a lot of prices nowadays of gaming. We get into it. Xbox has raised their game prices. PlayStation's always raising theirs. And GTA just came out as $80. The Steam machine, it feels like it came out at the worst time to be dropping $1,000 console. If anything, I think the Steam machine should have just waited until Xbox and PlayStation dropped their second console. But even then, it would have been significantly weaker because they don't do the console business. Xbox and PlayStation, I'm pretty sure their next consoles are going to be $1,000+, but they're also going to be probably 5 times stronger than the Steam machine. And there's probably going to be a lot of options. You can continue your library that you have. And then we also have Xbox. Xbox just announced that they will be doing price hikes for their consoles, which was. And then I'm also not surprised at the same time. They just did a lot of layoffs. It really feels like Asha Sharma is doing a lot of what needs to be done, and now it feels like she's coming in at a position where she has to get the ship out of a sinking position, is how I see it. The Xbox when she took over Xbox, it's in the worst state it's ever been in the world. Xbox is in the worst state it's ever been. In my opinion, it's even worse than the Xbox One generation. So Asha Sharma has to essentially work through shit to get up. She's made a lot of good decisions. I'm pretty sure this is not something she wants to do. But again, if she's going to decrease the price of Game Pass, she probably has to put that money somewhere else. Even though decreasing the price of Game Pass made them lose so many subscribers. So I'm pretty sure she has to put that price somewhere. I'm pretty sure they had to put that price somewhere else. Who knows if they're going to do $80 games? Maybe. They still have Game Pass, so $80 games on Xbox would make more sense than really any other place, because all day one games on Xbox and a lot of third-party games on Game Pass are just $30 for the base edition. Or not $30. I think it's $30. But I think it's $30. But it's still cheaper enough to say, hey, I'd rather just play Gears of War E-Day for $30. It's on there forever. They don't leave Game Pass. First party games never leave Game Pass. But the prices of the Series S have went from $400 to $500 for the base Series S. That's what I have. I have the base Series S. I got it when it first dropped the first week. And I'm just going to go to the very max, the base and the very max. The highest Series X 1TB disc is $800. It was previously $650. Gaming is becoming way too expensive a hobby. This is the first time in history of gaming where things get more expensive over time. When I was a kid and I was on a 360, we would wait a while before we got the Xbox One, and we got it for cheap. We got the Xbox One for like $200 at a pawn shop. If you go to the pawn shop now to get a PS4, a PlayStation 5, or an Xbox Series X, they're all still $500. They're all still $600. They're selling the price of the Xbox and PlayStation PlayStation 5 for the same price as the retail. Like, they don't decrease the price. Even with gaming is taking a longer time for sales. A lot of video games nowadays still cost as much as they did when they first released, and that's because they're trying to maximize profit. But it is kind of disappointing that this is the way the game industry is going. Yeah, I get it. The AI boon. Also, gaming just becoming a bigger industry as a whole, and everybody trying to get a piece of the pie. A lot of this is due to inflating budgets. A lot of this is due to a lot of bad decisions. That's another thing that really sucks about the game industry right now, is that we as gamers have to pay for a lot of bad decisions. Nobody asked PlayStation to spend $400 million on Concord and have it die in a week. No one told PlayStation to buy Bungie and make it buy Bungie, and that game is going to not last. It's not doing well. Same thing with Xbox. No one told Xbox to not do exclusives anymore. They decided to take their beloved franchises and put them on different consoles. No one told Xbox to spend $79 billion on an acquisition to not have any of your games be exclusive. That's just bad decisions, and we all have to pay for it. That's the worst part. There is no bright side to this. I would like to tell you there is a bright side. We're not going to get we're not going to get higher quality games because the prices are up. They're raising the prices for the quality of the games there are now. They're not trying to make better games with more money. They're just trying to survive because they keep making weird decisions. And there's nothing we can do about it. But it sucks. I feel like the writing has always been on the wall. I didn't expect Xbox to raise prices. I don't know if Sony's going to. They might. Sony is more successful. Even Nintendo, they're not slick. They're greedy. But the thing is with Nintendo is that their marketplace for their video games are very specific. So they're not competing with anybody. No one does family-friendly games like them. The Nintendo, every family feels like they need a Nintendo. Everybody feels like they need a Nintendo. You can only get certain games on Nintendo. But for the other three, including the Steam machine, I don't think the Steam machine is going to do well. I think it's going to die. I think it's going to have significant drop off. It's obviously going to sell well in its first week. But we'll see how it do. But peace. This is this video, and